Yes, we get married. Yes, we work. Yes, we buy a car to get on with life. Yes, I might buy a house if I can afford it through halal means. Yes, to shelter my family. Of course, this is all, these are all the requirements of life. Yes, we do these things, but not at the price of sacrificing my deen, man. Never, ever put dunya before deen. Never. Wallahi, my brothers, how many of us, because of work, how many Muslims on a weekly basis, they miss Jum'ah? Why? Because my boss doesn't let me go, man. My boss doesn't what? My boss doesn't let me go. Or because of uni, they miss Jum'ah. Why? Because my boss or my teacher, whatever, doesn't let me go. Muslims that are stuck in jobs where they're not allowed to grow their beads. He actually wants to grow it. I'm not talking about the guy who doesn't want to grow it. That's a different story. This guy actually wants to grow it. But because of his job, his boss, cuz look, I work as a concierge, or, I have to deal with people, and it's not really befitting. Allahu Akbar, man. My brothers, let me tell you something. Do we worship Allah or do we worship dunya, man? That's reality. This world, my brothers, is wallahi, you take nothing with you, man. You take nothing with you, bro. No matter who you are, wallahi, no matter how many houses you buy, no matter how many... Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, he comes down to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Imagine, bro, imagine. Jibreel comes down to the Prophet of Allah. Like, look at this conversation, bro. Look at this conversation. Imagine this conversation. Jibreel says to Muhammad, he says, Ya Muhammad, ish ma shit. O Muhammad, O Messenger of Allah, live for as much as you desire. Eventually you will what? You will die, man. He says, you will die. He says, O Muhammad, love whoever you want. Eventually you will what? You will depart. He says, O Muhammad, do as you please. Eventually you'll be held accountable and responsible for your actions, man. My brothers and sisters, don't get caught up in this world. Wallahi, this world is nothing. Take this world for its reality. It's an illusion. Yesterday we were young, healthy, fit, good looking, whatever. Now we're starting to feel pain in our knees. Now we're starting to get some white hairs coming out. Now we're starting... Tomorrow you're gone, man. That's the cycle, bro. My brothers and sisters, we need to make deen our focus. We need to make Allah Azza wa Jal our focus. The scholars give a beautiful analogy. Beautiful analogy. And I really want to share it with you, yeah? They say, imagine deen was the sun, and your shadow was dunya. They say if you take the deen, so the sun, and you throw it behind your back, meaning you make it the least of your worries. Where's the sun now? Behind me. So where's my shadow now? It's in front of me. They say if you throw deen behind you, the sun, your shadow will be in front of you. And no matter how fast you run after your shadow, you'll never catch it. Why? Because it's ahead of you, man. No matter how much you run after this dunya, my brother, you'll never ever catch it. But then they say, if you grab this sun, if you grab the deen and you put it in front of you and you make that your focus and you make that your priority, where's your shadow now? Now it's running after you, isn't it? Now it's chasing you. And that's the reality. When you make deen your focus, you make Allah Azza wa Jal your focus, dunya will run after you. And then any time you want your dunya, I don't have to go far, bro. I turn around and I pick it up. It's there. It's there. My brothers, malish, we've gone too long, man. Anyway, we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bring the reality of dunya into our hearts. And my brothers, wallahi, and sisters, things to take home now is, get married and throw her from the hotel room, eh? No, don't. Things we need to do is continuously speak about the reality of dunya. Don't let things grow in your heart. You know what I do? I'll share this with you. This is my personal tactic. Don't go around now and put it down people's throats and people say, well, look, this is what Hoblos is teaching people. Do this to yourself. This is what I do to myself. Whenever I see something that, heck, my heart starts doing these ones too and my eyes start glittering, what do I say? Use tampon. Ya Allah, what an anticlimax. Straight away, reality. No, Mama. Huh? Straight away. Don't let things grow in your heart. When brothers are sitting there and they're talking about something, talking about dunya, talking about how mad this is and how hectic this is, with wisdom, try to redirect their focus. Try to redirect their focus. And this is what Rasulullah ﷺ did. After one of the battles, one of the companions, after the battle, the companions used to take the booty of war, whatever was left, the gold, the silver, the knives, whatever was left, swords. So one of the companions, and for companions this was the most halal money. So anyone you killed, you took whatever he had. So companions used to take this, and then they used to trade amongst one another. So one of the companions, he traded so much till he made the most money on that day. He made the most money. So he comes to the Prophet of Allah, he's happy. He says, "O Prophet of Allah, no one today was more successful than me." Meaning what? No one made more money than I did. So Rasulullah ﷺ, look at our teacher, man. He sees what? He sees now that he's somewhat being affected by dunya. So what does the Prophet of Allah do? He redirected him. He says to him, "No, I know someone that made more money than you." So the companion says, no, Prophet of Allah, trust me, I know, cuz I was on the battlefield, I dealt with everyone, I traded with everyone, and I made more money than everyone. He says, no, I know someone that made more. He says, "O Prophet of Allah, who?" He says, anyone that prayed 2 rak'at, nawafil, like that, sunan, lillah ta'ala. Anyone that prayed 2 rak'at, it's worth more than the world and what it contains. Worth more than the world and what it contains. And that's the truth. We know the reality of dunya. We know the reality of dunya. Our hearts burn when money is taken away from us. Our hearts, they burn. And I give this example. If anyone here had an AMG or had an M5, whatever it is, some hectic car, bro. You bought a hectic car, and I bought it and it wasn't insured, and I parked in front of my driveway, and the next morning I woke up and some odd day burnt it for me, bro. Yeah? Someone burnt it for me, yeah? Automatically your heart, what? Come on, bro, wallahi, that's a burner. Wallah, that's a burn job. But if I missed Fajr that morning, honestly, would you be upset? Come on, Carl, it's alright, bro. It's only a sunnah, you don't have to do it. Don't be so hard on yourself. Allah Ghafur Rahim, man. You cry for the car. You cry when someone scratches your car, you cry. But the ummah is missing Fajr. Rasulullah ﷺ, he says the sunnah of Fajr, never mind Fajr. He says the sunnah of Fajr is worth more than the world and what it contains. And we're missing it on a daily basis. Is anyone there to cry for it? So my brothers, we need to wake up to reality of things, man. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bring the reality of dunya into our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put the love of Him and His Prophet and His deen into our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from the people of Firdaus al-A'la. ونصلي على الحبيب محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.